Brooksaw Antiques here. Today we have this 1921 Oliver No.9 antique desktop typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. This one is one of the most unique mass manufactured typewriters of all time because it has the bat wing downstrike keys and a 3-bank keyboard. First thing we're going to do is set the margins. So the left margin is set by going wherever you want it. So I want it right. So let's say I want it. We're going to set these paper fingers on the edge for now. Let's say I want it right there in the middle. We're going to take this rod and pull it all the way out, which it already is, and then till it faces up, and then push in to where you get these clicks, and that's where you will be on the margin. And to put it towards the edge, you just pull it all the way out, go to the edge where you want it, and then the same thing, just push it in like that till the clicks stop, and then that's where the margin will be. The right margin is located right here, and you just push it down like that and then move it just like this along this little rail. And I'm going to set it right there and test where it is, and that's pretty close. I think I want it a little bit closer to the middle, so I'm just going to move it like that. That works for me. Now the paper fingers, there is an adjustable paper guide up here too. This little thing, kind of a makeshift paper guide, it's kind of like a decoration, but it does help you guide somewhat so the paper loads in straight. And right now we have I'll show you that function later. So when you have the paper fingers lined up correctly, and I'll show you those paper fingers, they're on the top. This is one of them. If you have them lined up correctly, then the paper will load in just normally. If they're off, then the paper will get stuck. So once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin, you hit the knob here, and it automatically, once you get it to the end, will skip 1, 2, or 3. Right now we have it on single, but if you want double, there's a knob right here, or a little lever. You pull it up. Let me do a zoom in. Well, you pull it towards you, towards the front, and you can see those little notches in there. So the middle notch is 2, and the bottom notch is 3. So when you hit this knob, it skips 3. And if you put it in the middle, put the knob, it skips 2. And if you put it all the way to the top, it skips 1. That's where we want it for now. I'm going to go back to the next line and finish. Actually, that was all the keys. I was able to type all the keys on one line because this is a 3-bank. 3-bank means that you have a caption and a figure shifter. So now we're going to do the capital letters. I'm going to type some of those too fast. This is a very old antique machine, so you got to get used to how to type on it. And the print looks really good for how old it is. And on the next shift, which is the figure, you'll type all the numbers and the symbols. And those work all good. You can take a look at the listing on eBay or Etsy, and it'll show the type sample. Let me get a better... That's good. So this is the shift lock. So if you want to just shift lock it, that's how you do it. Right there. There's one on each side, and they both work good, just like that. This is your space bar. tab function. So to set a tab, let's go ahead and move that right margin all the way to the end so I can get as much clearance as I possibly can to show you how to do the tabs. So now, this machine is very difficult to learn how to use. It's almost like you got to pass a college course to learn how to use this thing. So these are your tabs, and you just kind of, just like the margin is, just tilt it to move it. You kind of sometimes need 2 fingers and oil it up. Pull it down and just kind of move it. There we go. So, and there's 3 of them in there. You might need to take off the carriage to set those, and I can show you how to do that, but I'll show you how the tabs work. The tab button right here will activate the mainspring, and it'll stop at each one of those tabs. That works good. This button is the right margin release. So you get to the end of the margin. Now that I have it all the way in the edge, it's not going to work. Put it towards the middle. There's a locking mechanism, or it just won't let you type past it. So you hit that right margin and you can keep typing past it. There's no locking mechanism on this model. And this is your left margin release. So if you want to get past the left margin, you just hold the left one down and it'll allow you to get past all the way to the end. And if you want to take off the carriage to set those tabs or do maintenance, you go all the way to the end and hit that right button, and then the carriage will come all the way off. One of these tabs fell off, it looks like. So we're just going to take the carriage all the way off, and the string that pulls the mainspring automatically stops on its own, so you don't have to lock it anywhere for you to take the carriage off. It's pretty cool. It is very hard to learn how to use it, so I'm going to put this tab back on. So, and you can set all the tabs right here just by taking this carriage off and setting them. There's a spring on top that you just have to line up with the track and tilt it, and then it'll slide right on just like that. We're going to put the carriage back on by lining up these 2 travelers. And it just sets right back on, and it catches the string, the drawband, automatically. Very cool how that works. This is your backspace. That works good. And this is your paper release. This is what I had activated. Paper release on each side is behind the knob here. You flip it towards the front and it unlocks the rollers underneath the plat, allowing you to pull the page out easy or load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock, but make sure you flip it to the back position before you load the next page, or else it won't load correctly like I did when I first started. You can tighten your mainspring if it's not pulled hard enough with that little screw. You just tighten it. Kind of a higher level maintenance. Carriage release is this little knob. You push it in with your thumb just like this, and you can control the carriage freely. And the carriage release on this side is underneath, so it's way different the way that functions on each side. And that is about it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.